All right, hey, welcome to my channel. All right, let's get this up front. On paper, on paper, the Knicks getting Bridges and reuniting with the rest of the Villanova squad, the Nova squad, basically. Yeah, it looks good from a chemistry standpoint, but reality is it's as though it's like basically Leon Rose had a brain fart or something, or was tipsy or something. I must have been drunk when he signed this contract, cause or signed off on this. Cause I mean, Mikal Bridges is not a superstar. He's not a superstar. I mean, quite honestly, what you gave up for Mikal Bridges, it's almost practically the same thing you could have given up for getting Donovan Mitchell 2 years ago. I mean, it's like mind boggling. I mean, having a Brunson Donovan Mitchell backcourt would have been probably more unstoppable than the Nova squad. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the Nova squad, but this is not going to bring the Knicks to the finals. This is not bringing them to the finals because first off, they got to get past the Boston Celtics with Tatum, Brown, and Holiday, as well as Porzingis. Now, uh, they got to get past them. And now the question comes down to is like with getting Bridges, it seems like they're not looking into being held hostage by OG Ananobi to the point like OG is like, all right, if you're gonna get him, I might as well just go off to Philadelphia because why would I come to the Knicks if I'm not going to be a starter? I might as well just go off and go off to the Philadelphia 76ers, which means then the Knicks have to get past the 76ers, as well as most likely Milwaukee as well too. Uh, the fact that the Knicks had to gave up four, four unprotected first round draft picks. The fact that when the Knicks traded off Porzingis and everyone else, and they were getting back protected draft picks, pissed me off. I'm like, all right, fine. But the fact that we have to give up four unprotected draft picks, and of course that we gave up Bojan Bogdanovic, and also um, another first round pick, protected first round pick that we got from the Bucks. And then of course there's a swap that they do, for and a second rounder. And then the fact that the Knicks give up a second rounder too is like it's like I don't understand what's going on. I mean, like we could have done this when we went for Donovan Mitchell. I mean, honestly, we would have just had to give up. Most. I don't remember what the deal exactly was, but if this is something that the Knicks were willing to give up for Mikal Bridges, a non-superstar practically, not even a tier one All Star, we couldn't give the same exact thing up because like we thought it's like, hey, they're asking too. Utah was asking for too much. And quite honestly, if we had a shot to get Devin Booker with this, I think we could have gotten Devin Booker with these exact same picks because like Phoenix gave up a lot for Kevin Durant. Phoenix has no one, so the Knicks could have given these exact same picks to the Suns and gotten Devin Booker. Could have gotten Devin Booker, a much better super tier one star compared to Mikal Bridges. Now, I'm not saying that this is bad on paper for the Knicks in the aspect of roster wise, it's not that bad. If the Knicks can re-sign Hartenstein as well as re-sign OG Anunoby, if they can re-sign him, then your possible starters would be, and a healthy Randall coming back as well too, would be Mitch Robinson at center, uh, Randall, Brunson, either DiVincenzo or Hart, whichever one. And then now the question is like, who do you play? Anunoby or do you play Bridges? Whoever, if they sign OG, one of them is going to have to start, and the other one's going to have to be on the bench, coming off the bench. Or two, the other aspect is like, okay, you have a Randall, Brunson, Mitchell Robinson, and you keep Bridges and OG on the floor, putting DiVincenzo and Hart on the bench, and then now you have a deep bench roster as well too, which plays really well for the Knicks at that point too. But it's hard to say what's going to happen. Honestly, you have the Nova squad, so the possibility is probably going to be most likely Hart, DiVincenzo, Brunson, and Bridges with either Randall or Mitch Robinson playing most likely, or DiVincenzo sitting down, and then you basically have Brunson, Hart, Bridges. Randall, and Robinson starting. Now, will this get the Knicks over the hump past the second round? Yes, it'll get them past the second round at least for sure, depending on what happens with OG and Anunoby. If OG's with Philadelphia, then I don't see them getting past the second round then, because like they're gonna have to probably go against the Philadelphia 76ers or Milwaukee Bucks, and depending on what happens with Miami as well too, with the Jimmy Butler situation. So we'll have to see what happens there as well too, because like if Jimmy Butler stays with Miami, okay, then you've got a shot where you're gonna have to probably go past him as well too, or to if Butler leaves Miami, then I think the Knicks don't have to worry about Miami at that point. But it depends where Butler goes off to. But in all honesty, actually, I'm just saying this now. Look, okay, great. By the way, I'll be posting this up much later, but Adrian Wojnarowski or Woj is saying that the Nets, okay, they pretty much got their draft picks back from Houston. It's like a swap. Brooklyn has a deal with Houston to return the Nets 2026 first round pick for 2027 Phoenix Suns first round pick. Rockets also acquired the 2025 rights to swap it Houston OKC for 2025 Suns first round picks. Okay, I'm a little confused about that. It sounds like it sounds like the Nets got back some of their picks, but gave up the picks that they got from Phoenix. So Woj is basically saying, sorry, Houston relinquishes the right to swap a Houston OKC first round pick for Brooklyn's 2025 first round pick. So basically, the Nets are getting their pick back. Okay. I'm not sure how that works out, but the Nets are definitely in a rebuild mode. You can see that right now. They're definitely in the rebuild mode. If the Knicks are able to assign OG Anunoby, which unfortunately he declined his extension, so now he's an unrestricted free agent. If the Knicks have to max out on him, that means they won't be able to sign Hartenstein. Hartenstein's going to look for something. He's probably going to go to, if he doesn't sign with the Knicks, he's probably going to go either with maybe OKC for a year or two, or maybe he might go to Philadelphia. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Philadelphia. Or for that matter to the Lakers, but I don't think the Lakers could actually sign him at that point. I see what Houston's trying to do. They're trying to position themselves to get a younger Devin Booker. Okay. Anyways, to the point, I think this was a bad move on the Knicks' part, giving up that much of their draft capital. I mean, honestly, they had quite a few other draft capitals, but the fact that they had to give up their own 4 first-round unprotected draft picks, I think that was a dumb move on their part. To the point where, like, we're not going to... I mean, honestly, in 7 years from now, if I'm calculating correctly, actually, I don't remember exactly what years the first rounds are, but let me see for a second. Hold on. I wasn't saying much. Okay, which it doesn't say exactly what years. Okay, so the Nets will get the Nets will get the 2025, 2027, 2029, and 2031. Okay, so basically, the fact is like about another 7 years from now, the Knicks are gonna suck unless they sign some superstars that are willing to become free agents back later on. Then I don't know who that's going to be. Maybe Zion. I don't know. But if they don't, 2020, 31, they're going to lose some serious first round draft picks that they could have used for whatever capital that might be. Because 7 years from now, you're going to see a 12-year-old kid that's now 12 years old. Probably going to be the next. Who knows? I'm hoping it's not going to be the next Michael Jordan. If the Knicks lost that draft pick. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But quite honestly, Bridges, the trade for Bridges, I think the Knicks, I don't know why they gave up that much. I feel like they didn't have to give up that much for Bridges. I know the Nets were asking for like another KD type of trade, but I don't think the Knicks had to give up four unprotected draft picks. I mean, quite honestly, they still had a couple of those protected draft picks that they could have given up. I mean, they could have given up this year's draft, a couple of the draft picks. They could have given up, not the Nets, the Dallas Mavericks pick, protected pick now. They could have given up the Milwaukee Bucks' protected pick. Bogdanovich would have been good as well too. I mean, honestly, Bogdanovich. I mean, granted, his thing is going to be expiring, but still. Time will only tell. We'll have to see what happens as well tomorrow when it comes to the draft itself, and let's see how that works out. Honestly, if the Knicks can find another unicorn in the draft, that'd be great. But it's hard to say right now at this point. Like I said, I think the Knicks got fleeced on this one. They're not going to get past Boston. Even if they get past Boston, they're not going to win in the finals against either Denver or Minnesota or maybe OKC, because OKC is really hot nowadays. Dallas, unless Dallas stacks up with more big men, I don't think Dallas is going to get to the finals again this year or the next season. Basically, it'll either be Denver. The Knicks will have to, if the Knicks somehow miraculously get into the finals next season, they'll have to either go against Denver. What did I say again? Yeah, Denver, Minnesota, or probably Oklahoma, OKC, the Thunder, basically, or possibly, or just possibly, even still, maybe the Clippers. I mean, depending on how everything goes out. If Paul George stays there, somehow the Clippers get their act together and Kawhi Leonard is healthy and actually goes busted all out. It'll be interesting to see maybe, but in reality is I don't think the Knicks, they're not winning the final. They're not winning in the next 3 years unless they get a superstar. This is where I thought the Knicks could have used those picks to have gotten Devin Booker, or for that matter, Donovan Mitchell. Honestly, they could have gotten Donovan Mitchell 2 years ago for almost practically the same exact thing, and they say it was too much. And Donovan Mitchell is a far more better all-star player than Bridges is. But hey, let's see what the Nova Cats do in this case. I mean, let me know your thoughts about the trade. I mean, like I said, on paper, this does bolster up the Knicks roster a little bit, that they should be able to get past the second round. If they go against Indiana now, and let's say OG's with them, and they do sign OG as well as somehow Hartenstein is stays, they should get past definitely for sure Indiana. They should definitely get past Cleveland. They should definitely get past the Miami Heat. Question is, will they get past the Bucks, Celtics, of course, and if the Sixers as well too, depending on how the Sixers stack up their offense at that point as well, or stack up their roster as well too. But again, let me know your thoughts. I do read my comments in the comments. I try to respond to the best of my abilities when they warrant a response. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Actually, before that, one other thought, basically. Kevin Durant being a free agent, it won't matter. I don't think anyone's going to care because he's on the decline at this point. Curry, I wouldn't be surprised if Klay Thompson leaves the Golden State Warriors and Golden State finagles their way into trying to bring back Kevin Durant so that they can have that one last run. I think Kevin Durant wants that one last run. But with that, again, I'll leave it at that. If you like my channel, like my videos, like my content, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Now, I would have some videos in place here showing you stuff, but I realized I'm not part of the Insider program as of yet. Once I do, I find out if you're part of the Insider program, you could actually show video content, like quote-unquote copyrighted stuff, that you should be okay. So hopefully I could get to that eventually. But with that, I'll just leave it at that. Again, unfiltered, unedited, of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.